Hello and welcome to the final video of the fans series of beginning bobbin lace videos. And I know this series has been a little bit longer than I actually planned. Ideally I would have liked to have done it really quickly, but I wanted to show you all the different ways that you can change your fans just by changing colours and by changing stitches, so that when you come to make your lace you can look at a fan and go, well, yes, I know how to work that fan, but I want to do it in half stitch, or I want to do it with a cross stitch and twist edge, or I want to alternate my colours. So this final video is going to cover the French fan, which is a really dainty little fan here. So you can see the difference in size from that fan to that fan. And the first thing you will notice is you only have one pin in the centre here. So exactly the same as we did for this fan, the Spanish fan, we're going to be taking all our pairs in straight away. Well, unlike the first fan we looked at where you took them in one at a time, this time you're going to take all of them. So again, what you're looking for to find out how many we're going to take in is the pair that is going to be coming to this pin here. So if you look here, this is the pair that will come down into here and then come out to there. So that means that if we count back up, we've got 1, 2, 3 and 1 extra when we put in the worker, so we'll have 4 pairs. So how does that look on our lace? So here I've already done my ground stitch and I've done it all evenly, so I've got the same colours in the same places on both sides. So the only thing I've got left to do is this fan. So I've done this in cross stitch and twist, so all my colours are saying exactly where they were put, and I'm going to do this fan with a cross stitch and twist edge and then cross stitch. And something different is going to happen with this fan when you reach this middle pin here. So I'm going to hang my new pair on my support pin, and I'm going to cross stitch and twist both pairs. I am going to just shorten this because this isn't my worker pair. My turquoise is my worker pair, and these are going to be much too long when I take them off the support pin. So I'm just going to wind up one bobbin because it pulls the thread from the other bobbin. So I've worked my cross stitch and twist, and I'm going to pin up, and my turquoise now becomes my worker. So I'm going to close that with a cross stitch and twist. So now, as I said before, we're going to be taking all of the pairs in one go. So that one's definitely going to be going in, so that's okay. And this one's going to be going in, so that one's okay. What about the yellow? Well, holding it in a diagonal line shows it going to this pin, so it's nowhere near our fan. So as far as I'm concerned, I've now got all the pairs I need for my fan. So I'm going to cross stitch and twist my edge, cross stitch through these 2 pairs, and then I'm going to just pin up. Now I don't want any twists on my worker pair at this point, because I'm going to be going around that pin multiple times. So the first time I come to my pin, I'm going to work through this blue pair as normal, pin up, and then I'm going to go back to the other side. So back through 2. I've reached my last pair, so I'm going to twist my worker and do my cross stitch and twist edge, extra twist on my worker pair and pin up. So now my worker thread is secure. I can take out my new pair and pull it down. There we go, and it won't distort the thread. So I'm going to work cross stitch and twist back, and then I'm heading towards the same pin, so I'm just going to go through 1 pair. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to just push these other pins down slightly, because I'm going to lift up this turquoise pair, and I'm going to go around the pin and underneath this blue pair. So you take it. Now, because I'm on the left, I'm going to go clockwise around the pin, and I'm going to put my worker on the outside here. So I'm just going to give everything attention. Then I'm going to lift the pair that I didn't work over the top of my worker pair. So let me show you that again. So I don't go through the last pair, so I've only gone through one pair plus my cross stitch and twist edge. Lift up my worker pair, and because I'm on the left, I'm going to go clockwise around that pin. Now this is the point where you want to take extra care, because as you can see, you've got a lot of pins there and you could catch your worker thread on any of the other pins, so just keep an eye on where your threads are going. I'll put my worker pair on the outside, on the edge of, so it's on the very end of all of the pairs in my fan. I lift the pair that didn't work it over the top, and then we're back to doing our cross stitch through our purple pair, twist our worker, cross stitch and twist, extra twist on the end, pin up. So I'm just going to give everything a little bit of attention. So now we're going to go back to that same pin again, because we've got multiple lines coming out of that pin, which means that we are going to work this pin multiple times in the same pinhole. So cross stitch and twist both pairs, cross stitch through my purple, and I already know that I need to go around the pin clockwise because I'm on the left. So I don't try and do it with the bobbins. I tend to pick up my threads, guide it around my pin in a clockwise direction, put it on the edge because it's at the end of my fan, lift the pair I didn't work over the top, and then back through to the other side. So I'm now at my edge, so twist my workers, cross stitch and twist, extra twist and pin up. And as you can see, we're getting a nice little pile of loops on this pin, and it looks a little bit like a shell. So cross stitch and twist, cross stitch through my purple pair. Now if it helps, pop your worker on the end and then lift your threads around the pin, because then you know your pair is in the right place, because it needs to be on the very edge. So as we're on the right, it needs to be on the right hand side of all the pairs. So lift the pair you didn't work, because we haven't worked this one. The threads have just been going over and under, because now you can see the thread has gone over this one, and now by putting this pair over the top, the worker goes underneath it. So you're weaving the thread over and under. Cross stitch through your purple, twist your worker because we're at the end. Right, now I'm going to show you how you can alternate these and change the colour. So I'm going to do this one as a half stitch, pin up and close with a half stitch. So we are now going to have the green as our worker. So we've swapped the green and the blue around. So now we can go, that's the last pin of that fan, first pin of this next one. So I'm going to go back over to here, and I'm only going to show you one half of this fan. Oh no, I will show you the other side, because going around the pin is a different direction. But I will show you this bit here while I'm over here. So I've now got two pairs coming out of my fan that are just hanging around. If you have watched the Spanish one, they're hanging around, they're not on a pin. So what you need to make sure is each pair has a twist, because we're going into our ground stitch. And then I'm going to take my pair, so we've already worked out that our yellow's going down there, so I'm going to do I'm going to do cross stitch and twist, because then all my pairs stay where they are. Pin up, close with a cross stitch and twist. Then I'm going to do my next one, cross stitch and twist. There's so many choices. Close with a cross stitch and twist. And now I'm just going to take this pin here, the one that you went round and round, out, and just give the blue pair a bit of a twist. Actually, let's just undo, not a twist, a tension. Let's take that pin out and it will tension up a bit quicker. So if you pull that blue pair, can you see all your loops lay down? And you get this nice sort of shell shape as opposed to the sort of traditional fan shape that we have been getting. Now, because I'm doing cross stitch and twist, I took this last pin out. If you were in half stitch, it would be fine because your blue pair would still be over here. But because the blue pair had travelled down, I just needed to tension it up a little bit. So now I'm going to work my next row of ground stitches down here. So that's cross stitch and twist, pin up, close with a cross stitch and twist, cross stitch and twist, pin up, and close with a cross stitch and twist. So I've got the same colours. The reason I did it in cross stitch and twist is that I've got the same colours. I had the purple and the blue coming through my fan, and I've still got my purple and blue. So now I've done the last pin of the fan and the first pin of the next one. So now I'm ready to go cross stitch through. So I've done my cross stitch and twist edge. I've cross stitched through one, and because we're still using the same colour, we know we only need to go through our blue because our yellow goes off in that direction. So I'm going to do my cross stitch as normal. I'm then going to pin up without putting any twists on. Now, if I was to put some twists on, as we know, the twists push the threads apart, and ideally we want these loops to just sit neatly on the edge without being pushed apart. So I've worked it the first time, this pair, as normal. So then I'm going to cross stitch back through, put a twist on my worker pair. I'm just going to loosen that a bit because I'm reached my cross stitch and twist edge. So cross stitch and twist, extra twist on the edge, pin up. So now we can go back through cross stitch and twist, back through one pair because we're doing exactly the same as we've just done on the previous fan. So I'm going to put my bobbins over, jump it over the top of the blue, and then I'm just going to push all my other pins down a little bit because then you can see exactly which pin it is. Now, if you wanted to, you could use a berry pin. This pin is quite thick, whereas a berry pin is a little bit finer. But you can use a berry pin. It'll stand higher and it'll be easier to see where the pin is. But I'm just going to guide my threads round with my fingers. I'll show you, if you try and do it like this, I can do it, but when you're first trying, and you could catch on all of the threads. So I do tend to do it with my fingers as close to the thread so I have complete control. It's always the way, isn't it, when you say something's going to do something and then it doesn't. So then, so I'm at the end and I'm just going to lift my blue over the top, back through my purple in a cross stitch, twist for my cross stitch and twist edge, extra twist and pin up. That's it. So just give everything a tension, a little bit of a tension, because we're dealing with cross stitch and twists and lots of threads in a small area. Cross stitch, so we've done our cross stitch and twist edge, cross stitch through the purple. So then we're going to do our last pin around the pin. We're not going to work that last pair. Lift your thread up and around, just give those a tension. Lift your blue pair up and put it over the top. So you can see that the green goes over the blue and then under the blue. So then cross stitch and twist, twist your worker, sorry, cross stitch, twist your worker, then do your cross stitch and twist, pin up, and we've got one more time to go. So we're going to do cross stitch and twist, cross stitch through our purple. We're at the point where we need to go around the pin, so I'm just going to lift my workers up, put them on the end so I know exactly where they are, go around the pin and just tension up, and then lift the pair you didn't work, which is this blue pair, over that pair, and then cross stitch through my purple, twist my worker. Now I'm at the end, so I'm at the last pin of this fan, so if I want to continue alternating, I'm going to have to do a half stitch. So half stitch, pin up, close with a half stitch, and there's my blue, my turquoisey blue, ready to go off down my next fan. So that's the left hand side, and at the moment we can't take this pin out because we haven't got anything here to support these threads. If we were taking the pin out, these threads would really sort of spread out, and we want to have a little bit of control over it. And I'll show you how it works. So I'm going to take it out now, and then so it's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. But the other thing is that if we pull this one, look, because this pair here isn't pinned up, you can pull your fan out of shape. So I would always leave taking the pin out, and after you've pinned up the pin that holds this pair. Okay, so you can see why, because obviously we haven't got the pairs to do this ground stitch, and so you're going to be pulling on all of these pairs because we need to come and do this fan to get the pair to come down here. So that's why I would always leave this pin in until after you've pinned up the pin that supports this passive pair that has been going under and over the worker pair. Hope that makes sense, and I hope that you've seen why you leave the pin in.